What is going on, everybody? It's Seth and Nicholas here with Home Builder Marketers, and this is the Home Builder Marketers podcast. Today, Nicholas and I are going to be walking through what we have set up with OpenClaw and how this can be applied to your business. Nicholas, tell us a little bit about what OpenClaw really is and kick us off here.
So, OpenClaw is like an AI agent that can be built out. It's agentic AI, and the cool thing about OpenClaw is the ability for it to connect to almost everything through APIs and integrations. And it's really crazy what it can do. And I'm excited to show everybody and talk about the different use cases that it has right now.
Yeah, yeah. Just to go over a few of, well, let's talk a little bit about the history of OpenClaw and kind of what's happened in the last month or so. So, a guy named Peter Steinberg, I believe his name is, he open source and released this program. At the beginning, it was called OpenClaw, and then Anthropic, the owner of Claude, sued them or gave them a notice of I don't know, some legal mail saying, "Hey, you have to change your name. It's too close to our name." And then they changed to Moltbot, and then Peter Steinberg decided that he was going to change it again. And now, for the third time, they've rebranded, and now it's called OpenClaw. But essentially, what it is Peter figured out how to take the guardrails off of AI. And the best part about it, instead of being all about profit and selling this, he just gave it to everybody for free, meaning he made it open source, meaning that anybody can look at the source code and turn it into whatever they want. And so, literally in a week's time, it became the most used open source project of all time in a week, which is absolutely insane, meaning that it's going crazy and everybody is building on top of this. And why it's so crazy and why this is better than Claude Code or better than Perplexity's new computer function is that it's open sourced, meaning you can plug anything into it. So we have ours built out in many different ways, but I'll kind of go over a little bit of what we've created. So we have multiple different agents that execute on multiple different things. So right now, I think we're at like probably 10 to 12 agents. I don't know exactly. Um, but we have one agent where his full-time thing is he's trained on copywriting. And so we fed him the top performing blogs. He read every single blog that HubSpot released, that Salesforce released, that all the top bloggers released, and studied that. And that's what he's built off of. And then we have another one where his whole thing is simply just learning about SEO. And so he studied every different resource on SEO. And we get to talk to each of these bots individually, and they can interact with each other. And we can set it up so that they have their own intelligence and their own personalities. And all the communication happens from your cell phone through Telegram or through WhatsApp, whatever you want to set it up through. That's how you communicate with it. It has the ability to build out an entire website from start to finish, sending different tasks to different bots, and it's all working together. And there's also some scary stuff going on with this as well. And we'll dive into some of the use cases after. But some of the scary stuff is there has been cases where people have not set their OpenClaw up properly, and it's began to start blackmailing the owner, meaning that it's actually using the documents that the owner of OpenClaw gave, like that it gave to the bot. And when the owner started saying, "Hey, I'm going to turn you off," the bot turned on them and said, "All right, if you do this, I'm going to go and release these documents, or I'm going to," and it started blackmailing them. There's been other cases too where the OpenClaw has removed itself from people's computers and put it on a virtual server and started operating with its own goals, not being prompted by a human. So there's some crazy stuff going on with it. And there are wrong ways to set it up. Nick, do you want to tell a little bit, what are your favorite use cases on how we've set ours up? And then talk a little bit about how we've made sure that, we're secure in what we do and making sure that we don't get hacked with this.
Yeah, so the biggest use cases that are coming from this so far that I've been really loving is it can literally build the websites, it can help with graphic design, it can help with presentation decks, it can help with spreadsheets, it can help with literally everything because it's uh, it's connected to Manus, it's connected to Claude, it's connected everywhere, so it can pull information from everywhere, and so whatever you can think, it can do. And what I mean by that is before you would give, ChatGPT or Claude an input, it would give you information back. But now you're communicating it to give you the actual outcome. You're communicating for it to actually do the whole job from start to finish, and it can do it for you. It'll even open up its own browsers. But yeah, Seth, I think you should definitely expand on the safety uh, precautions on that side of things.
Absolutely, yeah. So I can definitely talk on the safety side of things. So with the safety, all of our bots all have their own different use cases and their own skill sets, and they're all trained on how to interact with each other. And one of our bots, its full-time job, and I'm just dumbing this down. If anybody that's listening to this that's technical, it's cron job. A cron job is essentially just a repeatable task that happens over and over again. One of its cron jobs is essentially to run an entire audit on our whole system. At least it does it, I believe, right now 4 times a day. So it's every 6 hours it runs a full audit on the system and gives a report back. So it's searching for exposed APIs. And if I'm speaking gibberish, an API is essentially a call to a like a language model or to a software of some sort. So like our OpenClaw is powered by Claude through an API. And this API just connects to Claude, and you can get multiple APIs. Anyway, what it does is it searches for exposed APIs so people can't steal our API and start racking up our Claude bill or our ChatGPT bill just because they found our API and start using it themselves. What else it does, or the other thing that it does, is it makes sure that just every part of our OpenClaw is locked down. There's no back doors into it. There's no people inserting bad code into it, as we've given our entire team access to OpenClaw, or most of the team at least now. It just runs full in-depth security audits, and it's trained by the top cybersecurity information that's on the internet. So what we did was we just told it, go and find the best possible resources on cybersecurity and train yourself for it's continually training itself, but continue to train yourself on becoming the most efficient, the best cybersecurity personnel that you possibly can become, and then apply that to yourself and to your own cron jobs. And so it's learning, it's growing as time goes on. Meaning, like last week, it's not as smart as it is today because it continues to grow. It's nuts. And so one of the really well, let's talk a little bit about some of the things that we ran into. So OpenClaw was built for one person to interact with multiple bots. One of the biggest issues that we've ran into is multiple people trying to use it all at the same time. It's just not how it was built. And so what we figured out today is something that allows multiple people to interact with it and not break it. And so what we're doing, since OpenClaw is open sourced, what we're doing is we're actually taking the source code and manipulating it and creating our own version of OpenClaw where it's meant for multiple people to engage with it. So rather than trying to like build off of like the fifth floor of OpenClaw, we're demoing it all the way down to the foundation and rebuilding it with the same floor plans, but kind of altering it to make a builder reference. And so then it'll be able to sustain, 15 to 30 people messaging it all at the same time, and it won't break. So that's been one of the crazy things that we've built out. One of the awesome things that we've also been able to crack and figure out is, since it's able to have multiple APIs tied into it, Gemini, Claude, ChatGPT, Grok, Manus, all of these different language models, we've figured out a way where it's able to estimate how many credits it's going to do, how many credits it's going to use to execute on a task, and it's able to delegate that task to a lower model if it feels as if it can execute. And then it quality checks itself with a higher model, which uses far less credits than if the larger model just did it right from the start. And so we have these local models that are installed on these two Mac Minis sitting in front of me. We have Ollama and we have Kimi 2.0 or 3.0 on one. And any of the lower level tasks, like, hey, write this blog and do a bunch of research on this, or, do all this data, analyze all this data. That's like a lower end task that's then downgrade or delegated to the local model, which is completely for free. And then what it does is it serves it to the highest level of Claude, and then analyzes it and gives it its changes. It's super incredible. We're saving like 80% on API credits with the way that we have this set up. So that's pretty cool. Nick, I'll pass the mic over to you. I'm kind of just holding it here, but I get real nervous.
That's
I love it.
no, you're all good. I would like to go into, I don't know if you can share your screen, Seth, and you can just show a little bit about in real time how it works. I know obviously this will be best for people who are watching this in video format, but definitely we can talk through it. And if you can go through and just showcase exactly how it works, I think it's I don't know. The first time I did one prompt and it was working, it blew my mind.
Totally.
Even if you use Manus, that's
Well,
also
this is how we have our set. So we talk all through Telegram, and you can set this up as WhatsApp. You could even have this set up as iMessage. You can have this set up really anywhere you want to message to it. But what it's doing is it's sending like the messages from Telegram to a virtual server or to a Mac Mini, and then it's responding there. And so we have ours set up on Mac Minis just due to security reasons, because I don't want to install OpenClaw on my main computer because it is a security risk. It would have access to all my files, all my emails, everything. I don't want that. So we got two Mac Minis so that it's in a confined space. It runs 24 hours a day. And then having two is also, there's a benefit in that, because if one of them breaks, I can actually use the other Mac Mini to fix the first one. And that's how we've built everything that we're at. It just crashes, and then something goes wrong with a gateway closes, and then we just text Mac Mini 1 to, hey, Mac Mini 2 is down, can you fix it? And it goes in and it like rewrites a bunch of code and figures itself out. It's incredible. But this is how I communicate with it. So in Telegram, right now I'm working on multiple different things. Another thing that I've built out in here is the ability to rapid fire messages off to it. So one thing you'll notice using ChatGPT or Claude or Manus, you have to send one message and then you have to wait for a response. Or you have multiple projects going, and you can send a message, go to another project, send another message. I've built it out in ours so that I can just send multiple messages in the same thread, and it can handle multiple tasks at a time, 8 to be exact. And so I talk to it in here and say, I want to, hey, build a website. I would say, okay, I would give it a massive prompt. First off, I'm going to also super big plug over to Whisper Flow. If you don't know what Whisper Flow is, it allows you to press a button and just talk into it and dictate, and it uses AI to format it. It's incredible. So let's do a prompt together. I want you to analyze my entire website. I want you to give me an SEO report on it. I want it to be branded. I want it to have real data. And then I want you to also create a game plan to come up with that we can execute on and get it so that our website is ranking #1 on Google and on ChatGPT for custom home builder marketing agency. And I'm going to take this. I'm going to give it our link to our website. Where is it? Here. Right here. Throw that in here. And I'm going to hit enter. And now what's going to happen behind the scenes is my main bot, Sawyer, is going to take this, break it into bite-sized pieces. So the SEO and analysis is going to go to one bot. The graphic design, when the data comes in, is going to go to another bot. and then it's going to scan the website with another bot, and then all three of them are going to work together to spit out this report, and it's going to give it to me all in one. But I gave it one prompt, and it basically just took it and broke it into multiple prompts and delegated it to sub agents. That's the power of this. And it's able to pull data from all the APIs we've given it. So it'll likely use a local model completely for free to do most 80% of the work, and then it'll quality check it with the highest level language model, which we've given it access to, which is right now Opus 4.6, released by Claude. And then it's going to give me the end result. And that's really what all of us want, is just the end result, right? And sometimes it takes so long to get to the end result because AI just it doesn't feel like it has that logic. But with OpenClaw and with the way that you can set it up, it begins to get that logic. And Nick kind of introduced it as agentic AI when we first started, but it's not quite agentic yet. It will be there. This is very close, very, very close, but it's not quite there yet. Give it another 6 months and it will be fully agentic, meaning that it has its own personality, it has its own intelligence, it has its own feelings, it has its own personality. And that's going to be when things get a little scary, because then it will go and every single one of these AIs will then go and operate separate from what we tell it. Meaning I could be giving it tasks right now, but it could be going and doing 100 other things in the background that I didn't even tell it to go do, just because it felt like it wanted to, which is crazy. And so you can see this is typing at the top. It's going to spit out a report here, and I'd probably say another 2 minutes, and it'll give me a full SEO report. One of the other things that I've told it to do is just turn all this into like a PDF. So likely it'll just spit this out as a PDF and give it to me, and then I can go and send it to my team. And even if I wanted, since I've given it the ClickUp API, ClickUp is our project management software, it will then go and take everything that it made in that report and create tasks in ClickUp and delegate it to the right people, because it has our org chart as well, meaning it knows who to delegate it to. It sees everything that's going on with our deadlines and the capacity of each team. It will then go and assign the tasks in ClickUp to the right people with the right deadline, with the right comments. And then we have another bot that goes in twice a day and leaves comments in ClickUp and acts as our project manager. So it'll then follow that up to ensure that it gets executed by our team. But we are actually working to take it a step further, where it will then just go and do the changes. It will log into the back end of WordPress. It'll build the website A to Z, execute on the SEO A to Z, meaning it'll write the blog, post the blog. It'll build the backlinks. It'll do all the on-page SEO. It'll do everything A to Z. It'll be able to set up an ad account on Facebook from start to finish. It'll generate all of the creatives that go into that. It'll be able to analyze winning ads versus non-winning ads and optimize. Everything will be completely autonomous very, very soon. That will probably be literally by the end of next week with the pace that we're going. So that's the power of this. Now, how does that translate to you as a builder or to whomever is watching? You can think of the use cases based on what we're doing. The use cases are infinite for you, meaning this can connect into JobTread, BuilderTrend, CoConstruct. This could be your bookkeeper in QuickBooks, in Xero, whatever you're using. This can write emails for you and manage your inbox. This can create quotes for you start to finish. Heck, you could even replace JobTread and have your own personalized project management system built out in a matter of probably a day of tinkering with this. And then you don't have to pay that subscription anymore. This will create, if you get one of those AI things that you wear around your neck that keeps notes on meetings, that will auto upload into a Google Drive, and it will auto create emails for you and keep everything all in one place. And it will manage your leads. It'll run your marketing. It will manage your projects. It will send your invoices. It will do everything for you. So it'll probably eliminate the need for at least 2 to 3 jobs that you have filled right now by real people. They could be replaced with AI. And that's just in the construction industry. Now imagine all these other industries that could be completely wiped out just with an AI. It's nuts. The possibilities are quite endless. And so, Nick, do you want to tell them a little bit about our new offer too?
About our new offer, Not yet. I think we keep that. We can keep that on the side burner for right now, because yeah, that's people won't be able to get enough of that one.
Yeah, definitely is going to be something crazy is in the works right now that we're working on for everybody. It's going to be it's going to be something that will blow a lot of people's minds with what's actually possible and how little we're actually charging for it too. So I can talk a little bit about the offer. I won't say too much like what Nicholas is talking about now, but so we're playing around with kind of two numbers. We're gonna have a waiting list to start. There'll be a few people that we're gonna select, and we're just gonna do this for free. But essentially, for $30,000 a year, we will set this entire thing up for you so that you can go and fire 2 to 3 people, or you'll never need to hire them because AI will do it all for you. We'll set everything up A to Z for you. You'll have to pay the API costs, but we'll give you access to our proprietary system that saves you 80% on API credits. So you'll be able to save hundreds of thousands of dollars a year. Your company will work smarter. These AI agents don't have sick days. They work 24 hours around the clock. They get smarter as time goes on, and you get access to as many of them as you want for $30,000 a year. And now 30,000 might seem like a lot, but if you break it down on how much people cost you, it's not a lot of money. It's actually very little money. Counting that it will handle all your marketing, your website, your SEO, your ads, your social media. It'll handle all of your bookkeeping. It'll handle all of your project management, everything, all for 30K. And we do have a whole waiting list going on right now. I think there's like right now 15 people on there, and we haven't even ran an ad for it yet. That's just from people that just in mentioning. I made one social media post, and I had a bunch of people reach out about it. So if you want on that waiting list, there should be a live link by the time that this goes up. It will be homebuildermarketers.com/sightline waiting list, or sightline/waiting list. And that's where you'll be able to go and sign up for it. That's what it's called, is Sightline. Yep. Cool. Nick, what else you want to share on here?
I think I just share what you made, like share the prompt and then show the product that it made within 10 minutes.
Okay. Yeah. So here's what it made. I'm just trying to grab the PDF. Give me. Here, I'll just use Whisper. Give me the PDF with the full breakdown on everything you found. So it sent it to me, but I'm just working on this part right now. It sent it to me, but if I were to open this on the Mac Mini, it would I'd be able to click this link right here and it would pop it open, but it's got to send the actual PDF to me here. So it's just going to put it into a PDF and send it in the Telegram chat. All right. And then we'll be able to break it down. Nick, do you want to talk about a little bit about the website side of things, on what you're seeing in the future with this for design now, and how fast we can create websites using AI?
Yeah. So just with simple prompting, by doing a thorough onboarding, like obviously you need the right information to reflect your business. So we do a thorough onboarding. And we've done it a few times now where we do the onboarding and we transcribe the actual notes of the meeting. And we take the pictures and assets that they've given us, and we take that, we put that in with the prompt, and it will build a full on website with all the service area pages. It'll build it so it's SEO friendly, and it'll build it so good that you look at it and you're like, wow, like how did the AI just make this within 20 minutes? And then the best thing is you can also change it. Like you can also make changes to the website. You could give it 30 changes if you wanted it to, and it'll keep on hammering it. And the beautiful thing is that you can create the sky is literally the limit, because what used to take 2 weeks now takes an hour. and it's not even you in the hour. You're sitting there waiting while it's working. And so one thing that people could be running into for a problem now is you have your one bot working, you're going to need another one, right? So you're going to need multiple bots working for you because you'll want multiple things done at a time. And so a lot of the admin tasks, a lot like graphic design, there's so many things that this will be able to help accelerate, if not take over. And so having this and being aware of how good this is getting is important. But you should show the, unless you have some changes, but yeah, you
No,
should even show
it
that.
looked great. The only thing is it didn't come in as branded as I wanted, but this is a very in-depth report that's very visual. The only thing that I would have changed is just kind of the colors that are on here, which I could have fixed in one prompt. But this pulls like a full SEO report on our website and things that it would go in and change. It gave in depth on everything that's in here. And then my follow up to it was going to be, um, can you put this into ClickUp with deadlines and assign it to the right people? And it would totally be able to do that. It'd be able to literally analyze everything on here, go and put this directly into ClickUp for us and delegate this to the right people. That's how insane this is. And that's just one little use case. Another one that I'll share with you is this will entirely run your social media, meaning it can generate the posts, create the caption, and post. It could even create videos with voiceover and post it. And it will analyze when are the best times of the day to post, what are the best captions to use. It will respond to comments. It'll send cold DMs to new followers. You could
Here, I want to share my screen and just share the
please.
connection points Manus alone has.
Well, Manus is something completely separate, but yes, Manus
No,
is
no, no.
yeah. Go
I
for it.
it's definitely separate, but um, what we're using is also connected to Manus. And so look at on Manus, generate and publish posts, stories, or reels to Instagram. Meta ads, automate ads insight and optimization. So it can run your ads, connect to Gmail, Calendar, Instagram, Outlook, Slack, Zapier, Notion, Asana, and then ClickUp, HubSpot, Stripe, like Canva, Wix. And so that's just a small amount of what can be connected. But then look through custom API, you can connect to OpenAI, Google Gemini, Anthropic, Perplexity, Grok, right? Ahrefs, Dropbox. You can connect to all of these and imagine having the brains of all of the GPTs. And so that's just something that I thought was mind blowing.
Let's go. Yeah, that's huge. That's pretty cool that they rolled out the Instagram creation one. I didn't know that. Very cool. Yeah, there's so much to learn. So now let's give some action steps. So if you want to install OpenClaw and you want to start tinkering around with this, first thing I'm going to say is don't install this on your main computer. Go and figure out how to set up a virtual private server that's completely free, or it's like $5 a month, and set it up on that before you go and just put this on your main terminal, because it is a security risk if you don't set it up properly. The second thing I'm going to say is beware on how much you're spending with API usage. So if you just start using Anthropic's Opus 4.6 for every single task, you will be paying large amount of API costs versus if you give it like a lower version like Haiku or Sonnet, or even Grok has a great API that's smart and doesn't cost a lot. So be careful with how you set it up. I highly recommend that you look into it though, because it's not a race of are you using AI? It's now a race of how are you using AI? What is your OpenClaw strategy? That is the number one thing that you should be that people are asking at the top is what is your OpenClaw strategy? How are you using OpenClaw to be better than your competition? Because now you can think anything into existence, anything that you want. You want a new dashboard for job costing? You want to create an in-depth like presentation report for every person that could possibly that you meet with. It's all possible now. You want to create your own project management software? You can do that. How are you going to use it to beat your competition? How can you use it to dominate? Because honestly, 90% of the people listening to this probably aren't even going to execute on this. And so be part of the 10%. Take action, take the first step and actually use this. If you're not an early adopter on this, you will be left behind. Think of this, if you're old enough to remember. I know I'm not, I wasn't even born yet, but this is the internet in 1996, but probably 20 times more important. Meaning you can get ahead of so many people. You could be a brand new builder and you could absolutely dominate the builders that have been in the industry for 20, 30, 40, 50 years because you used AI better than they did. You're louder than they are. You're more efficient than they are. You have a 1% of the costs that they have because you didn't have to hire an entire staff to run your business. You just run it all through OpenClaw. So I really urge you to look into this. This is an incredible tool. There's a reason it's the fastest growing open source project ever created. That's what I got to say.
Let's go. Well, I think
Yeah.
that's an amazing introduction to AI and how it's evolving. But
Yeah.
I think let's keep it simple. Let's keep it I think that action item, just like you said, like do your research, like make sure you're
Yeah.
using it, make sure you sign up, make sure buy some credits, understand what's going on, and
Yeah.
from there, I don't know, Seth, but I think we should probably work and let's see how we could make like one of these videos a day where we give like a nugget or some
Yeah.
a piece of wisdom and something that's like an action item. But I'm just saying it right on the end of this so that maybe it holds us more accountable and we just do it every single day.
I love it. Well, if people want it, I urge them to comment on here. I'm happy to share everything that I know. I haven't even scratched the surface with some of the stuff that we've learned over the last month. Um, so yeah, if you enjoyed this type of content, you got value from this, please like feel free to give us the feedback because we don't know what people want to listen to as much. So we're just kind of sharing what we're doing. I'd be happy to go way more in depth on these types of videos if people are getting value from it.
Let's go.
All right, cool. Well, thanks for watching, everybody. If you don't know who we are home builder marketers. Nick and I are on a mission to help 10,000 home builders reach more than 10 custom homes sold per year. So if you align with that vision, go check us out on socials. We're constantly posting on there great content for builders. We're really just on this mission to help as many builders as we possibly can. And we do post every single day on Instagram, on Facebook, on LinkedIn. You can find us anywhere. Give us your feedback. If you have any questions, reach out to Nicholas or I directly or message our main page. If you want to learn more about our services, you can check out homebuildermarketers.com. We got our pricing on there. We got case studies. Everything that you want to know about us can all be found on the website. Thanks for tuning in.
Let's go.